hate it here. I'm in pain. Guys, it's time. It's finally time. Time for what, you may ask? It's finally time that I'm gonna start reading Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. You're probably like, how have you not read this yet? Your job is literally to read books. I don't know, okay? I don't know. I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, but I decided to do a reading vlog of me reading both of these books. I'm gonna start with this one. I just want to. It's literally 6:30 p.m. on a random Tuesday night. I decided now's the time. I can't wait, and I am going to be vlogging the entirety of my reading process between these two books over the next few days. I am not going to include spoilers in the actual vlog portion, but then at the very end of this video I'm probably going to do a little compilation moment of my live raw reactions to some spoiler moments, probably me crying, talking about quotes, and then like overall reactions and feelings and everything at the end of each book. I'll include that at the very end of this video, so if you've already read these two books you can watch the spoiler section too, but if you haven't, you can still enjoy this video and watch it and see my reactions to certain things. Maybe it will motivate you to start reading them as well. Without further ado, let's start reading and start vlogging. I literally can't wait. I've heard such good things. I have such high expectations. I have my highlighter and my pen and my book. You know I love annotating, so without further ado, let's start reading. I'm so excited. Why am I already about to cry? Like literally, there's literally a tear at the dedication. For Lila, smash the patriarchy, sweetheart. Why does that make me want to cry? Fuck the patriarchy. Oh, there's a little page before chapter 1. Evelyn Hugo to auction off gowns. It's like an article? I don't know. Let's read. So she was or is very, very famous. She was an actress. I don't know, but I'm picturing her really cool. It says she is the daughter of 2 Cuban immigrants, and it's her story from the 50s to the 80s through like this in the spotlight of Hollywood. I'm about to start chapter 1. It's happening. Okay, so this book is from the perspective of Monique, who's a journalist, and she just said Evelyn Hugo is one of the biggest movie stars of all time. She doesn't even have to have something to say for people to listen. Her power. Evelyn Hugo just requested to be interviewed, so I'm assuming Monique is going to be interviewing her, and that's what this book is going to be. I've never read anything like that. I'm excited. So Evelyn specifically said she's only going to do the interview if it's with Monique, and if it's not Monique, she's not doing it. And Monique is like new to this job, so she's like, why would she choose me? I'm curious to find out why. I just learned about Evelyn having 7 husbands. Obviously, that's the title of the book. I want to learn everything about her. She seems very interesting. I can't wait to get to the interview parts. Monique is going into Evelyn's apartment. Oh my god, I don't know what is happening, but Evelyn just came down and started talking to Monique and is like, I lied. I don't want you to write a story about me auctioning off dresses. I want you, not your journalism company, not your magazine. I want you to write my life story. Out of everyone in the world who's obsessed with her, because she's like the most famous woman ever, she wants Monique to do it, a first-year journalist. I need to read and see why. I'm giving you my life story, Monique. I'm going to tell you the whole truth, and you're going to write a book about it. Oh my god, I'm so excited. What is her life? Her life already seems interesting and I know nothing. I just read a little bit down the page and it says, my name won't be on the book. I'll be dead. I'll be dead. Oh no. She's gonna make so much money off of this book. But also, Evelyn is being very suspicious. She keeps saying, next question. What are you hiding, woman? So Monique just decided that the hook of her book she's writing is who was the love of Evelyn's life. She's assuming it's gonna be one of her 7 husbands, and then she said her most recent husband, Harry, was my greatest friend. He invented me. He was the person I loved most unconditionally. The person I loved the most purely, I think, other than my daughter. But no, he was not the love of my life. And then she says, why not? And Evelyn says, because that was someone else. And then ends the conversation. Now I need to know too. Oh shit. The book is literally gonna be written in sections based on her husband's. Like this is called Poor Ernie Diaz. Okay, let's read about Ernie. I finished Ernie's part. I saw how she got into Hollywood, how she got her start. I really, really like how this book is formatted. Like it's an interview and then all of a sudden the chapter will just switch to Evelyn's point of view and tell the story and then switch back to Monique's point of view without really saying anything, but you can just feel the switch. And now I'm on goddamn Don Adler, her second husband. I really am intrigued by Evelyn's lifestyle, like the way she was so determined to get to the top and knew exactly how to manipulate her way there. Interesting. I hope people start treating her better. I feel like the men don't treat her very well because she's young and pretty. I just took off my makeup, so don't mind my face. But oh my god, I love Harry. I literally love that man. He just like told her like, you're not my type or whatever, and then she's like, you know, you're my best friend in the world, right? They're so cute. I stand them as friends. And then at the end of this chapter where she married Dawn, of course he turns out just like the rest of men. I fucking hate Dawn. He's literally such a bitch. I hate him. I literally hate Dawn so much, and it's so hard to read because Evelyn isn't doing anything about it, but like can't judge her for like how she's reacting to what he's doing, but like I hate this man. She's currently in the movie Little Woman, and she's talking about like this new actress that is also in the movie named Celia. I have a feeling that she's important because Celia was a sort of beautiful that felt as if you could hold it in your hands. Like if you played your cards right, you might just get to marry a girl like Celia St. James. She looked at me, and the way she did it made me feel as if no one had ever really looked at me before. Interesting. I feel like she's gonna be a key part in her story. Okay, I'm really tired. It's only 10:30, but I'm really tired, and I have a meeting in the morning, so I'm gonna go to bed. I didn't even read that much. Like a quarter of the way in. I'm on page 106, chapter 17, and I'm leaving off right after they just made an announcement to the media about their family situation. So that's where I'm stopping, and I'm gonna pick back up tomorrow after my meeting. I'll see you then. Can't wait to read more. Good morning, everyone. It's the next day. I just got out of my meeting. It's time to read. I'm in the middle of doing my makeup, so I literally look insane, but Celia is mad right now, or bothered, as Evelyn is telling her about her husband. Oh my god, my makeup. But anyway, Celia, stop. It's so cute how Evelyn is like watching the Little Women premiere, and the whole time, instead of being jealous, she's just like, Celia's so good, like she's gonna win an Oscar. Oh my god, I'm at the part where Ruby just pulled Evelyn into the closet or laundry or something and told her what she knows about Celia. She's telling her, who is your great love? Oh my god, oh my god. Stop. I literally love Harry and Evelyn's friendship so much. He just came to like bring her the divorce papers for her new divorce. Yeah, she's divorcing her second husband, as she should, but she's getting fucked over. And I love Harry. Don't mind my hair. I literally look like a hot mess. It's a little bit later in the day now. I'm about to resume reading. This far in, I'm on chapter 22. I'm gonna lay down and start reading. I've been looking forward to reading literally all day. I'm officially at Mick Reba's chapter. I'm so glad that we're done with Dawn. I hated that man. Stop the way that Evelyn is cheering for Celia winning right now. She chipped her tooth. Oh my god. I was wondering how she was gonna marry more people, and shit just hit the fan. They're currently fighting. The newspapers are talking the talk, but I guess she's gonna be with Mick because of the chapter title, but why? Evelyn is literally a genius. I'm on the scene when they're in Vegas. Like, she is the most manipulative, like, smart woman. Like, what? Her mind. Oh my god, so this whole time she was like manipulating Mick into doing what she wanted, and then she made it seem like it was his idea and all this, and then in her head she goes, I wonder what it must be like to be a man, to be so confident that the final say is yours. She is literally such an icon. Like, she literally just got exactly what she wanted, and of course the man thinks it was his idea, even though she manipulated him into thinking that. Stop. You know how I feel about Harry. Listen to this quote. You do not know how fast you have been running, how hard you have been working, how truly exhausted you are, until someone stands behind you and says, it's okay. You can fall down now. I'll catch you. So I fell down, and Harry caught me. Why am I gonna cry? Not the first tears. Not the first tears. This paragraph in chapter 30, Monique asked Evelyn if she has any regrets. She's crying. Like, why am I just crying? Like, come on. On to the next husband. Clever Rex North. Let's see what Rex is about, shall we? Period, Evelyn. Harry is dating. What? Oh shit. Harry and her are in the car, and they had Ruby tip off the photographers and the paparazzis to come catch them in the act, and he just suggested, and he's dating, and she would be with. It would be perfect. Oh my god. Wait. I need to read. What is this foreshadowing? I have no idea that in less than a week, Evelyn Hugo will finish her story, and I'll find out what this has all been about. And I will hate her so much that I'll truly be afraid I might kill her. What? I already know. I just love Harry so much. Brilliant, kind-hearted, tortured Harry Cameron. Yes, they're reuniting. They are reuniting, everybody. Moment I've been waiting for. I like their arrangement they have going on, but this is only her 5th husband, so. Oh, they're giving their money. They're saying we have to give them what we have and they don't. Money. Oh, they're doing something good. I feel like this is the first good thing anyone's done this whole book. Celia literally has mood swings, I swear. She just said something so mean. Having a baby. Who, you may ask? I don't know. You'll have to read to find out. No. Is Dawn back? No, not John. Oh my god, that hurt. Connor just recognized Celia and then just goes, that's the girl from your movie you're in. And Evelyn goes, that's when I knew the family I had made had truly disintegrated. No, I'm so sad. I'm literally getting whiplash. Who is this Max man? And why is he all of a sudden obsessed with her? And why is everyone's first move, like as soon as they like realize they like each other, they're like, marry me. You guys just met. Okay, Monique is talking to her ex. And I feel like she's learned so much from Evelyn already. This is like the first real glimpse we've seen into her actual life. So let me read. I'm on chapter 51. I'm stopping for the night. I have that much left and I'm very excited to figure out what is going on, but I'm saving it for the morning because I know if I get to like where stuff starts getting unveiled, I'm not going to want to stop. But they literally have 2 days left of interviews. Evelyn just said, you should be excited, Monique, you're about to get answers. Answers to what? I'm scared. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good afternoon, everyone. It's the next day. I have a dentist appointment in a few hours, but I'm just gonna read up until then. I have this much left. I think I can finish. So I'm starting in chapter 51. I feel like we're getting to the sad part. Everyone says I'm gonna cry. I haven't really cried yet, so I feel it coming. On to the next husband. Disappointing Max Gerard. Why is he disappointing? I was about to say, he doesn't seem so bad. Jinxed it, probably. No, not her speech being. And to anyone tempted to kiss the TV tonight, please don't chip your tooth. They're 50 years old, and that's what she's thinking about. As soon as they started writing letters, I knew this was gonna happen. Harry, come on. I see where you're coming from, but come on. Why is this making me emotional? Because it reminds me of when I was a preteen, how I acted. But it says, Connor was growing more and more annoyed by me every day. She found her mother to be the very epitome of embarrassment. The fact that I was a world-renowned film star seemed to have absolutely no effect on how big of an idiot Connor saw me to be. I was often happier in LA than I was in New York, constantly rejected by my own flesh and blood. But I would have dropped it all in a heartbeat if I thought Connor might want even an evening of my time. Stop, all she wants to do is hang out with her daughter. What's happening? We're supposed to go to the airport. Oh no. What the fuck? I want to finish this chapter. I'm emo. I just got myself together. And I'm on to the last husband. Husband number 7. Agreeable Robert Jameson. Where is this gonna go? Please, God. I just need something good to happen. What is she hiding? Like, why does she think she's such a bad person? I'm scared. Stop. This is so cute. Connor is like growing up and she's getting really close to Robert. This scene's so cute. I've been married 7 times and never once has it felt half as right as this. I think that loving you has been the truest thing about me. Every time Harry's mentioned, I cry. Oh my god. Not Evelyn and Connor sitting at the table, and she said, she sat at my dining room table. I lived a very full life before you were born. I'm in pain. I feel like I've witnessed this woman's entire life. Because I basically have. Oh my god. Evelyn said, broke like I've never broken before. The devastating luxury of panic overtook me and it has never left. Oh god. Chapter 63. No, not the chapter starting with, "That's how my story ends." Oh my god. What the fuck? Literally the entire chapter 63, it's just one page, is literally my favorite chapter of like any book ever. Her character development and her story and everything she went through was just summed up in like one page. Holy fuck. Oh shit. I literally said in the spoiler part my prediction of what it was. I wasn't that far off. Holy fuck. Okay, I'm getting all of the answers that I was talking about this whole video. I'm getting them now, and I'm overwhelmed. I finished. Feeling very emotional, and I don't even know. I have to go to the dentist right now. I literally was supposed to leave like 20 minutes ago, but I couldn't stop reading and I finished. And I'll give my full synopsis when I get back from the dentist because I literally have no time, but I love this book so much, and I literally just feel like I witnessed someone's entire life unfold, and now I'm just like done. Like, what am I supposed to do now? I'm so emotional. Like, why can't I stop crying? I'm gonna go to the dentist now and try not to bawl my eyes out. See you when I get back. Okay, here I am to give my spoiler-free wrap-up of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Basically, I'm just gonna try to tell you what this book is about and convince you to read it as if it's a book recommendation video with no spoilers. I just got home from the dentist and I cried the whole way there just because I felt so hollow. Like, the way this book made me feel was just like something completely different than I've ever experienced. So basically, this book is told from two perspectives. So Monique is a journalist at a magazine, and it's her first year working there, and she randomly gets the assignment that she will be interviewing the infamous Evelyn Hugo, who is a huge actress, like the biggest actress, kind of like Marilyn Monroe vibes, but she was an actress in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, and now she's almost 80 years old, and she has been pretty private with her entire life up until this point. For some reason, she has sought out Monique to write a piece about her, and Monique is obviously like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I'm gonna take it. She goes and meets Evelyn, and Evelyn tells her, actually, I didn't summon you here to write a piece about me. I want you to write my biography, and I want you to leave the magazine and take my life story for yourself, and you'll sell it and make millions of dollars and be successful for the rest of your life. And Monique's like, why would you choose me? I'm just some random first-year journalist. And Evelyn's just like, I read one of your pieces and I liked your writing style. That's it. The whole book is then kind of told in Evelyn's point of view of her entire life, her 7 husbands, a breakdown of everything she did, her ups and downs of being famous, literally the most famous, most beautiful, desired woman in the entire country, and her experience with love and loss and family. And it is not the typical book I read, a typical romance. There is romance involved, but it's not like, oh, cutesy like build up of a romance. It's like true representation of relationships, platonic relationships, familial relationships, and romantic relationships. Then she gets to the end and unveils everything. Monique is left in shock, and then the ending is kind of like, oh my god, I was crying so hard. I was like at a loss for words. It kind of like sums up the entire book within just a few chapters of everything she learned in her life, everything she regrets and doesn't regret, and what she wished she did differently, and what she would never change, what she would say to all the people she's loved and lost. It was just like, it felt like I was like talking to like an older relative, like my grandma or something, giving me advice. Like, I felt like I learned so much in this book, and I felt like Monique learned so much, the interviewer, and she changed so much and started making different decisions in her life based off what she was learning from Evelyn. Evelyn is a flawed character, and she has done so much and been through so much, and I don't even know what to say. This book was definitely unlike anything I've ever read, and I would definitely recommend you read it. Once I started getting wrapped up in her stories and invested in the characters and her relationship, her great love, like, I felt a lot of emotions, her family, oh my god, I would definitely recommend it. I can definitely see where the hype comes from. That is my final thoughts, opinions, and wrap up of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, spoiler free. And then I'm going to start Daisy Jones and the Six. Not right now, I'm gonna go eat dinner, but I am so excited, but I have no idea what this book's about. Just like I had no idea going into The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I have no idea what Daisy Jones and the Six is about, but I'm excited to find out. So I'll see you when I'm reading this. Good morning, everyone. I'm in the process of moving because I'm going back to college. The reason I decided to start this book today is because on my most recent YouTube video where I mentioned reading Daisy Jones and the Six this month, I got so many comments that said, listen to the audiobook of this book, listen to the audiobook, listen to the audiobook. And I was like, why? Like, what is so significant about the audiobook compared to the actual book? And then I opened the book and I realized it's told in like a bunch of perspectives at the same time. Like, so many characters are talking at once. So I can totally see how the audiobook would be better because they have different voices. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook as I like pack and stuff throughout the day today and probably tomorrow if I don't finish. And then obviously I'll read some like at night and stuff when I get the chance to actually sit down and read. But I'm gonna listen to the audiobook and then I'm gonna like keep updating you guys. Again, going into this book completely blind, I have no idea what this book's about. I'm pretty sure it is about a girl that joins a band. I literally don't even know, but I'm excited to find out. I saw someone recommend this book for right person, wrong time tropes, so I'm already ready to get my heart shattered. I'm about to cry. I'm literally on page 10. I'm literally gonna cry because her parents just don't pay attention to her, and she's like telling the story of how she lost her virginity, and then she said, I was drawn to him mainly because he was drawn to me. I wanted someone to single me out as something special. I was just so desperate to hold someone's interest. Daisy Jones, I have a feeling you and me are gonna get along great. I just like to say that this audiobook is incredible. It feels like I'm watching an interview on YouTube. The way that they're talking, it literally feels like I'm watching an interview. It's so good, and it's making me comprehend it so much better. Also, there's a part where Daisy and her best friend Simone are like driving in the car listening to You've Got a Friend. It says, Simone and I were singing so loud, but I was really listening to the lyrics too. I was really feeling it. That song always made me thankful for her. There's this peace that comes with knowing you have a person in the world who would do anything for you, that you would do anything for. She was the first time I ever had that. I got a little bit teary in the car listening to that song. I turned to Simone and I opened my mouth to talk, but she just nodded and said, me too. Like, that makes me want to cry. Also, this part, Wyatt said I love you so much and I don't understand why you don't love me. I said, I love you as much as I'm willing to love anybody, which was true. I wasn't really willing to be vulnerable with anybody at that point. I'd felt too much vulnerability too young. I didn't want to do it anymore. This book is already so good. Like, why am I already crying? Oh god. Guys, I don't know why I keep crying. The audiobook is so good, and the way this is written is hitting a little too close to home. I'm trying to pack and I just keep stopping and crying. That's how it was back then. I was just supposed to be the inspiration for some man's great idea. Well, fuck that. That's why I started writing my own stuff. I had absolutely no interest in being somebody else's muse. I am not a muse. I am the somebody. End of fucking story. This book is so good. I'm on The Rise of the Six, 1966 to 1972. I'm like getting introduced to like all the band members, and I just met Karen, and then she goes, men often think they deserve a sticker for treating women like people. That is so true. I'm doing my makeup so I look crazy. I want you guys to listen to this part because it's so funny.
Warren, Teddy Price was ugly as sin. A face only a mother could love. I'm just messing around. He was ugly though. I liked that he didn't seem to care.
That's the glory of being a man. An ugly face isn't the end of you.
That's what I wanted to show you. Isn't the audiobook so funny? Like, it literally feels like I'm listening to an interview of like this entire band. But the way Karen hates men, every like funny thing she says is about her hating men. Stop. Billy is so obsessed with Camila. Like, he just called her after getting the record deal, and he's like, getting the record deal meant nothing if I couldn't share it with Camila. Okay, I finished my makeup. I have to go out to lunch right now, but I listened to a good little chunk this morning. I just got to the part where the Six finished their debut album. I'm missing Daisy. I need some more Daisy content. I'm getting a lot of the Six backstory, but Daisy found out she like signed her deal, but then they like fucked her over. So, of course. She can't have one nice thing, can she? But yeah, I'm gonna keep listening in the car. I just listened to the audiobook my whole way here. I found out a lot of stuff, which I'll put in the spoiler section, but wow. Okay, I just got home and I listened again on my whole way home, and I just feel like Billy is spiraling out of control. Like, what is this man doing? He's being reckless. I thought I loved him at the beginning, but now I'm just like, what are you doing? So Billy just met Julia for the first time. Finally, Daisy is being integrated to the Six in some way. Like, I was confused how they were connected because they were two completely different stories, but Teddy just suggested that they do a song with Daisy. Honestly, Daisy's power, like when she walked in the room, the entire band is just staring at her, and then it gives each of their perspectives and they're all just thinking about how pretty she is. Now she's gonna record her song. I like love Karen. She's one of my favorite characters so far. Oh my god, they're singing together live right now, and Karen says, the way Billy would watch her as she sang, the way she'd watch him, it was intense. Is it wrong of me to ship them? It's probably wrong of me, but Graham and Karen are literally my favorite characters right now. Okay, so Daisy and Billy just had like their first like moment where they liked each other for like longer than 2 seconds, and then because he was checking on her after she fired Hank, Now Graham hung up the phone on Karen and is running to her room. Okay, so Billy and Daisy are on stage right now basically singing alone together. And like Billy came out to kind of help her, and Karen goes, you know how sometimes people will describe other people and say they make you feel like you're the only one in the room? Billy and Daisy could both do that, but they somehow did it with each other. They each seemed like they thought the other one was the only person in the room, like we were watching two people who didn't realize thousands of people were watching them. It is crazy, like this book takes place in the 70s, obviously, the drug use and how like normal it was for everyone to be like doing like hard drugs on the daily. At least Billy is being good so far. I just love Karen and Graham. They're so cute. Karen just bought a house. I'm gonna read this shit to you. People say that life keeps moving, but they don't mention that it does stop sometimes, just for you. Just for you and your girl. The world stops spinning and just lets you two lie there. Feels like it anyway. Sometimes, if you're lucky. Call me romantic if you have to. Worse things to be. I think I'm almost halfway. I'm at the chapter called Aurora, 1977 to 1978. They officially named their band, and I think they're about to record their third album. Eddie is so annoying. Like, Eddie's kind of irrelevant, but he's pretty annoying. I mean, making comments about Daisy and Karen and like their music ability, like shut up. Who are you? You're literally the most relevant one here. Period. Daisy, she says, I'm not going to sit around sweating my ass off just so men can feel more comfortable. It's not my responsibility to not turn them on. It's their responsibility to not be an asshole. I literally love Daisy. Billy and Daisy work so well together, like their songwriting, like they might get on each other's nerves, but from what I'm gathering is they write some good ass songs together and they just bounce ideas off of each other and they work really well together. I wish that I could actually like listen to these songs. Like that'd be so cool. I wish I could. I wish they were real. Karen says, the end of the chapter, I think people that are too similar, they don't mix well. I used to think soulmates were two of the same. I used to think I was supposed to look for somebody that was just like me. I don't believe in soulmates anymore, and I'm not looking for anything. But if I did believe in them, I'd believe your soulmate was somebody who had all the things you didn't, that needed all the things you had, not somebody who's suffering from the same stuff you are. Damn. Everything Karen says, I'm like, preach, Karen. Hold up. Mick Riva is here? You're telling me one of Evelyn's 7 husbands is in this book? That mofo. I hated him in the 7 husbands. Why is he here? They're in the same universe? Oh my god. I think they're throwing a party right now. So I'm gonna read because that man, he's trouble. This book is so cool to read because you're getting so many perspectives of the exact same situation. Like Daisy said, he finally told me the song was about me. And then he goes, I absolutely never told Daisy the song was about her. Like, they all are contradicting themselves, so you kind of have to like interpret what you think is what happened and who you trust. And I think it's so cool. Why is Miss Daisy Jones writing a song called A Hope Like You that Billy describes as, it was such a sad love song about wanting somebody you can't have and knowing you're going to want them anyway. Oh, I think I see what's happening here. Okay, they're writing songs together, and Daisy says, it seemed clear to me that there were things unsaid that were being said in our work together. And then Billy's like, they're just songs, whatever, you pull them out whatever you can, you change the meaning if you have to. And Daisy says, it's so strange how someone's silence, someone's insistence that something isn't happening can be so suffocating. I see what's happening here. He's in denial. Is Billy stupid? Or is he playing dumb? Or is he actually this clueless? She shows him this whole song she wrote and he goes, what's this guy putting you through to write a song like this? And Daisy goes, even then, I wasn't sure if Billy and I were having the same conversation. I feel bad for the rest of the band because they're completely excluded from like Billy and Daisy's little like world of controlling this band, and they're kind of just like in the background and they're all annoyed. They're like, we're supposed to be in this band too, like what is going on here? Why am I gonna cry? Because Graham finally wrote a song and he was so proud of it, and then he went to show Billy and Billy just completely disregarded him and like didn't even ask him who the song was about. Is like so uninvolved and just doesn't care about Graham's life. And Graham is like, I'd always had Billy's back, I'd always been there for him, supported him through anything and everything. Makes me sad. Oh my god, I just got so like carried away with reading that I literally forgot to even update you guys because so much just happened. Daisy said, I like writing with you, and Billy said, I like writing with you too. A bunch of shit happened, and I'll put in the spoiler section. Billy said this and I highlighted it. I thought it was a really good quote. He was talking about how when he was younger he had a thought like, I could just push my brother in the pool right now, like I'm not going to, But if I wanted to, like, I could. And that really tripped me out. That everyone's life was that precarious. That there wasn't some all-knowing mechanism in place that stopped things that shouldn't happen from happening. That's something that had always scared me. And that's how it felt being around Daisy Jones. And Daisy said it was excruciating, this lie he was trying to tell us both. She was dangerous, and I knew that. But I don't think I could recognize that the safer she felt to me, the more dangerous she was. It's literally 11:20 at night. I've been reading for like hours straight, but I have to go to the airport now, and it's like a 45-minute drive, so I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. But I'm like this far in, like I only have that much left, so we'll see. I'll come back and update you on everything I listened to in the car over this 45-minute drive. But a lot is happening. So Daisy just suggested that they perform the song that she wrote on her own, and Billy's like, immediately no. I literally just got home from the airport and I'm way too tired, so I'm just gonna update you about everything in the morning. Good morning. It's the next day. I just woke up and I'm gonna tell you what I listened to when I was on my way to the airport last night. But so basically Daisy pitched the song she wrote about what her and Billy went through, and basically he was like, we're not recording that song because he didn't help her write it. And one of the lyrics was, when you think of me, I hope it ruins rock and roll. And then the whole band voted that they record it, and Billy like didn't want to, so they recorded it without him. And then they did the album cover photo shoot, and the photographer captured like just a few moments between Billy and Daisy. They became the album and the back cover, and reading it, it says they were angled in. The negative space between them felt alive somehow, electric. There was so much purpose behind the not touching, right? Like the angst between them. And then Billy goes, I swear that guy just caught the only 2 times I was looking at her. I felt like I was always trying not to look at her. So that's where I left off after the album art and the cover and stuff, and they showed them all. I have this much left, so I still have a decent chunk left. I'm gonna start reading right now. Daisy just said this quote, and I want to read it because I thought it was really good. I wish someone had told me that love isn't torture. Because I thought love was this thing that was supposed to tear you in two and leave you heartbroken and make your heart race in the worst way. I thought love was bombs and tears and blood. I did not know that it was supposed to make you lighter, not heavier. I didn't know it was supposed to take only the kind of work that makes you softer. I thought love was war. I didn't know it was supposed to be peace. And should love like that was for women like Camilla. Okay, Nikki or whatever, just confronted Billy and was like, never look at her, never touch her, whatever. Billy goes, is this what you want? She said, yes, that's what I want. And then Billy said, I trusted her when all signs said that I shouldn't, and I was done doing that. What are they doing? Not ever did Daisy just spill everything to the reporter. What does she even say? Like, I want to know. Can I hear, please? It just says, then it just all started pouring out of her. Tell me. I want to know what's pouring out of her. No. Oh, she didn't tell him about what she feels. She exposed him. Shit. Oh my god. These two are gonna be the literal death of me. The article that ended up getting published. I mean, I guess it's gonna work out for them because Rod says, is there any headline that is going to make you want to see Daisy Jones and the Six perform live more than that? There's no diamond record without that Rolling Stone article. That article was the first step in their music transcending the limits of music. It was the first step towards Aurora not only being an album, but an event. It was the last kick it needed to blast off. What is going on between them? Like, I'm genuinely confused. I need to not have expectations because I feel like I had expectations going into this and they are not what this book is about at all. Not Billy's daughter saying her favorite member of the band is Daisy. Oh my god, I wish I could listen to this album. Like, I literally would die to hear this album they're talking about. It's an album you can play at a party. It's an album you can get high to. It's an album you can play as you're speeding down the highway. But then you listen to the lyrics and you realize this is an album you can cry to. And it's an album you can get laid to. For every moment of your life in 1978, Aurora could play in the background. I want to hear it so bad. And then Daisy says, it's an album about needing someone and having them love someone else. And Billy says, it's an album about the push and pull of stability and instability. Is it about love? Yeah, of course it is. But that's because it's easy to disguise almost anything as a love song. They're not even on the same universe. Okay, going into the next part, Aurora World Tour, 1978 to 1979. I think Daisy is really spiraling out of control. I don't like Nikki. They just like fought in the hotel room, and she says, I remember thinking, if this is what love is like, maybe I don't want it. I looked at him and my heart just sank, because while I have no idea whether or not I overdosed or what exactly happened that night, I could tell he had been truly terrified, and all he did was put me in the shower. My husband believed I might die, and he didn't so much as even call the concierge. I literally don't know what's happening. It feels so real. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, reading this, especially seeing all the characters' perspectives, like, I feel like this is so real. I just was saying Daisy needs to get her life together, and I think she's slowly starting to get it together. She just made the speech at the Grammys, and then she said, when you rediscover your sanity, it's only a matter of time before you start to get an inkling of why you wanted to escape it in the first place. Then Billy says, when we walked off stage with that aboard, I caught her eye. She smiled at me, and I thought, she's turning it around. I think Billy and Daisy are friends again. I don't know. They're like talking again. Maybe I'm not insane. They're performing on SNL right now, and they're like, the tension right now, the chemistry. Gonna go talk to the spoiler section about this. Guys, I felt like I was going absolutely insane because this was so back and forth, and I didn't know if the feelings I was feeling through the pages were real, or if it was just like I was delusional because I wanted this to be a romance, or what was happening. But oh my god, them singing together one-on-one on the stage and what they're thinking right now. Spoiler section. I'm literally sobbing. Chicago Stadium, July 12th, 1979. Bro, the way Billy treats Graham is so uncalled for. Graham needs to talk to him so bad, and Billy's refusing. Like, I know they're all going through separate stuff, but oh my, Taylor Jenkins Reid did this shit in the last book. It was like going as normal, and then it says author, and now the author is talking, and it says, wait a minute. While I have made a concerted effort to remove myself from the narrative, I included here a verbatim transcript of one of the conversations I had with Daisy Jones, because I am, in fact, the only one that can corroborate this essential piece of Daisy's story. And then it's her talking to Daisy, like the author is in the book, and she's a character. No, Billy. The book is really gonna end with everything fucking falling apart, isn't it? Camilla and Daisy are talking right now. I'm gonna cry again. Stop. And Camilla's kind of like saying how she thinks Daisy needs to get better and go do her own thing, and she sees herself in her, and so many people care about her, and she needs to take care of herself. Camilla looked at me for a moment, and then she said something that changed my life. She said, don't count yourself out this early, Daisy. You're all sorts of things you don't even know yet. That really stuck with me. That who I was wasn't entirely already determined. That there was still hope for me. That a woman like Camilla Dunn thought I was worth saving. I think this is officially the last part. Then and now, 1979 to present. Oh my god, Pete is having his first speaking part. But I also just found out everything that happened with Daisy after the band and all the good she's doing. Feels bittersweet. I'm literally like I just think there's something so special and like doesn't feel hollow, but it does. The like Billy and Camilla's love for each other. I don't know like how it makes me feel like he loves her so much in like a way like I'm gonna be with you forever way. It's not like a love that I've ever read about, and it's not like a love you usually read in books, and I think that's what's so cool about it. And it also just like hurts because it's like she's the greatest thing that ever happened to me, and like even though they've been through so much with Daisy and everything, it's always there and they can always rely on it. It just feels like something like a family. I don't even know how to put it into words. Crying again. But that wasn't the last chapter. That was kind of like the where are we now with all the characters. And now there's one last thing before I go. November 5th, 2012. But I just started crying because the last line that Billy and Daisy says is he says, we were pretty good. And Daisy says, we were great. We were really great. Oh my god, is this all this? Oh my god, I literally just caught that all on camera, my reaction to the ending. Okay, well this has to go in the spoiler part, but I can't believe I just caught that on camera. Me reacting to what this last chapter actually is. Okay, I just finished. Wow, I loved this book so much. I think I love this one more than the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't know, I just felt like really connected to like, it was easy to relate to a bunch of different characters in this book and connect with them since there were so many points of view. I loved the way it was written. It was so unique, and it was just like so realistically and hauntingly beautiful. I loved it so much. But I'm gonna shower right now and gather my thoughts and then come back to you for the full wrap up and ending of this video. Okay, just got out of the shower. I've just been thinking about this book and I literally just start crying. I loved it so much. Like, I literally loved it so much. I thought it was like, again, not like anything I've ever read. The way it's set up, I felt like I was watching a documentary and I was so immersed. I like refused to believe that this isn't a real band and all this stuff didn't actually happen. Like, the characters are all so flawed, but Taylor Jenkins Reid has a way of making you sympathize with the flawed characters so much that I like kind of feel guilty, but also I don't, because I feel like I know them. I want to defend them despite everything they did wrong. And the way it ends is just so like, I feel so like hollow. Like, we got an ending and we got to see where everyone ended up. You know when you finish a book and you just know you're not gonna be able to stop thinking about it, and it's one of those books that now that you finish and you know everything, you need to reread it to like get a new perspective, because I feel that way with this book. Like, another thing that felt so realistic was like the love between the characters and how you're not always gonna be together and end up together. You can love someone and it's not enough, and loving someone that you're gonna be happy with and be able to build a life with is enough. It doesn't mean you're settling just because it's not as passionate and as all-consuming as you thought it would be. And I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid in both of these books, I saw, like, coming from a romance reader, my perspective of love after reading these books feels so different. And everyone wants like an all-consuming passionate love, but after reading these books, it's like you have different kinds of loves and different soulmates and different relationships that aren't going to be perfect and romantic and passionate. And I think that's something that she did so well. It makes me feel like achy and hollow. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I love these books so much. I read you the quotes. Like, this book has such good quotes. I literally just want to cry all the time now that I think about it, especially finding out the ending, who the interviewer is. Everything makes sense and I just want to reread it. Please listen to the audiobook. It was like an indescribable experience. If any of you guys have read like Normal People by Sally Rooney and you get to the end and you're just so like hollow, but it was so good, that's how I feel with this book. Like, I feel the same way as when I finished Normal People, and like I felt that way at the end of this book. And I loved both of these books so much. Like, they were so well written and both made me so emotional. In both of these books you see the characters go through so much, and it's not gonna end how perfectly and happy you want it to, and it's not like a happily ever after thing. And it's like, that's what I feel like makes it so good. And I love these books so much. I'm so glad I read them. Thank you guys for like pushing me to read these, because I'm never gonna forget them. I'm gonna recommend these literally all the time to everyone I meet. I'm gonna be in a huge reading slump after this. Like, what am I gonna read after this that's gonna like compare to how deep and meaningful these books felt? I don't know. But if you haven't read these books yet and you want to read them now, you should definitely do it and then come back and watch the spoilers section. I'm just gonna insert the spoilers here. Okay, the spoilers for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo are starting right here. So if you skipped ahead and you're here, do not watch. This is the spoiler section. I'm just warning you again to make sure you don't watch this. They're literally just spoilers from as I was reading, but I couldn't put them in the beginning because they would have spoiled stuff, so I'm just throwing them in here all next to each other for people that have read the books to enjoy. I'm putting this in the first section of the spoilers because I know I can't tell people that haven't read the book yet, but oh my god, Celia and Evelyn are totally gonna be the love of each other's lives, because I just read the part where Celia goes, "I hope you know by now that all your secrets are safe with me." And then Evelyn in her head says, I do know that. People think that intimacy is about sex, but intimacy is about truth. When you realize you can tell someone your truth, when you can show yourself to them, when you stand in front of them bare and their response is, "You are safe with me," that's intimacy. And by those standards, that moment with Celia was the most intimate one I'd ever had with anyone. So Ruby just pulled Evelyn into like the closet to tell her that Celia is lesbian. Then also told her that Dawn is cheating on her, and she goes, "When she said it, I did not think, oh my god, my husband is cheating on me. I thought, I have to find Celia." She finally said it. Who is your great love? Celia St. James. Stop. They're so cute. Celia said, "If I don't win, will you still love me?" And Evelyn goes, "You could be a nobody living in a cardboard box and I'd still love you." I never said that before. I'd never meant it before. Celia smiled wide, me too, the cardboard box and all of it. What? I just finished the part with the Mick Riva situation in Vegas where they got married and then slept together, and then the next day she made it seem like he planned to break up with her, but really this was her plan all along, like she manipulated him. And now I'm at the part where her and Celia have been spending the night together every night and she just found out she's pregnant. No, please, no. Literally, they're in such a tough situation. Like, I don't know what I would do in their situation. Like, now Celia's mad at her for sleeping with him just to cover up their relationship, but like she's trying to protect them because she knows how everyone would react, and Celia would rather be public than a secret. Oh my god. Oh my god. Her and Celia broke up. They didn't talk for 5 years. What? I did not expect that. I thought they were gonna make up. I'm gonna explain the first time I'm crying. The quote, Monique says, "Do you regret that you didn't call her, that you lost that time?" And Evelyn says, "She's gone now. The love of my life is gone. I can't just call her and say I'm sorry and have her come back. She's gone forever. So yes, Monique, that is something I do regret. I regret every second I didn't spend with her. I regret every stupid thing I did that caused her an ounce of pain. I should have chased her down the street the day she left me. I should have begged her to stay. I should have apologized and sent roses and stood on the top of the Hollywood sign and shouted, 'I'm in love with Celia St. James,' and let them crucify me for it. That's what I should have done. And now that I don't have her and I have more money than I could have ever used in this lifetime, and my name is cemented in Hollywood history, and I know how hollow it is, I'm kicking myself for every single second I chose it over loving her proudly." That shit really hurts. Oh my god. Celia is low-key pissing me off. Like, first she denies the fact that Evelyn's bisexual. She's always calling her a lesbian. And then she goes, "Nothing's changed. You're afraid of who you are and you still don't have an Oscar. You're what you have always been, a nice pair of tits." And then immediately goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it." How do you just say all that and then be like, "I didn't mean it"? 2 seconds later. Celia's dying. They literally can't have one nice thing. I hope they at least get to live out what they're talking about of moving to Spain and living out her final years together, because it's what they deserve at this point. Why would they kill Harry? He was my favorite character. I hate it here. Rest in peace, Celia. Everyone's dying. Everyone is literally dying. Not her crying at Harry's grave saying that she just needs her best friend to comfort her. Every time Harry's mentioned, Celia died and I didn't even cry. I'm crying because she went to Harry's grave and I love him. Now her daughter died. Literally everyone's dying. Why is everyone dying? When they put her in the ground next to her father, I broke like I've never broken before. The devastating luxury of panic overtook me and it has never left. Oh god. No, not the chapter starting with, "That's how my story ends. With the loss of everyone I have ever loved. With me in a big, beautiful Upper East Side apartment, missing everyone who has ever meant anything to me." Fuck. When you write the ending, Monique, make sure the readers understand that all I was ever really looking for was family. Make sure it's clear that I found it. Make sure they know that I'm heartbroken without it. Spell it out if you have to. Say that Evelyn Hugo doesn't care if everyone forgets her name. Evelyn Hugo doesn't care if everyone forgets she was ever alive. Tell them that I was confused for a very long time about what love was. Tell them that I understand it now, and I don't need their love anymore. Say to them Evelyn Hugo just wants to go home. It's time for her to go to her daughter, her lover, her best friend, and her mother. Tell them Evelyn Hugo says goodbye. No, her dad was the one in the car. I knew they were connected. I thought that Evelyn was gonna be related to her, not Harry's lover. Oh my god, what? Oh, the reason Evelyn knew she was gonna die is because she also has breast cancer. Because everyone in this book just has to fucking die. Also, if I was Monique, I would not know how to feel right now, because like I feel so bad for Evelyn, because you just feel like you just got to know her so well, and like Monique was sympathizing with her so much until she found out about her dad, and now she's like, I hate you because of what Evelyn did. It's a really fucked situation. At the end, it was her written piece. It was Monique's, what she wrote for whatever the magazine's called. I know what Evelyn would want to reveal in these pages, along with the stunning photos taken just hours before her death, is one very surprising but beautiful true thing. And that is, Evelyn Hugo was bisexual and spent the majority of her life madly in love with fellow actress Celia St. James. She wanted you to know this because she loved Celia in a way that was in turns breathtaking and heartbreaking. But more than anything, she wanted you to know this because it was the very core of herself, the most honest and real thing about her. And at the end of her life, she was finally ready to be real. So I'm going to show you the real Evelyn. What follows is an excerpt from my forthcoming biography, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, to be published next year. And I thought that was so cool. Like, this is literally her book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Like, that's so cool. Okay, those were all my spoilers for The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Hope you enjoyed seeing that. And now I'm gonna go right into the spoilers for Daisy Jones and the Six. Again, if you didn't read Daisy Jones and the Six yet, stop watching right here. Do not watch this part. Okay, that's your warning. Okay, I found all of this stuff out while I've been driving. First, Camilla got pregnant. Her and Billy got married. And then Billy felt like he didn't really want to be married to her. And then cheated on her. while he was drunk. Oh my god. What the fuck? A lot happened in my 10-minute car ride. Now everyone's like torn, like, do we tell Camilla what happened or just say don't do it again? I really liked Billy's character. Kind of just let me down. Okay, Billy just went to rehab and came back and is meeting his baby. I like don't know how I feel because he obviously did not have like a dad growing up, so he was like no one to like, I don't know, look up to be a dad. So he like completely started spiraling until the point where he literally had to go to rehab. We'll see how he is now. I'm so happy that Graham and Karen are getting together. I'm gonna get the part where Karen's like, how come you never made a move on me? And he's like, I don't take shots I know I'll miss. And she says, I don't think you'll miss, done. And then as soon as I said it, there was a dial tone. And then Graham goes, I have never run anywhere faster than down that hall to her room. I ship them. Holy shit. I am so confused, guys. Okay, so I just got to the part where she says, I like riding with you. He says, I like riding with you too. And then he says, I like a lot about you. Daisy smiled when I said that. She lit up. It feels good to make Daisy smile. And then Daisy leaned in and tried to kiss him. And then he pulled away and said, I can't. And goes, I shudder thinking about it, about that time. How I could have made one small mistake that would have thrown my whole life away. Daisy says, it was excruciating, this lie he was trying to tell us both. Okay, so I feel like, well, she obviously wants to be with him, or tried to. And he wants to, but he can't because he has his wife and kids. But then he regrets it that much about how one mistake could throw away his whole life. And then Daisy says that she's the one that left first. And then Billy says he's the one that left first. So who actually left first? What just happened? So are they never going to do anything? They're never going to be together at all? Yeah, because he's saying that was the moment he could have made a mistake that would have ruined his life. So that means he's not going to do it again. What the fuck? Guys, I'm going to cry. Daisy says, we are talking about probably the first man in my life who really saw me, who ever really understood me, who had so much in common with me, and still didn't love me. When you find that rare person who really knows who you are and they still don't love you, I was burning. Okay, so Camilla is cheating on Billy. And he says, I'm not saying that I didn't care. I cared a lot. I'm saying that when you really love someone, sometimes the things they need may hurt you, and some people are worth hurting for. So, what? Okay, Billy just finished the album, and Daisy is literally going insane with this random man named Nicky, and I think she just married him. Why? Why? Daisy told Jonah, the reporter, about cheating on his wife and the alcoholism and drug addiction and the recovery and missing the birth of his daughter and everything. Why would she do that? Oh my god. So Billy ended up telling Jonah that he just hates Daisy, and that's what they ended up writing. And now everyone's interested in their like feud that they have, and now their album is gonna like go viral and platinum because everyone's interested in this feud. And I really wish I went into this book with no expectations, because for some reason I went into this book expecting it to be a like Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo romance moment, but these two like have no romance between them that we've heard of yet. Like, there was like that little moment where I thought something was gonna happen, and then it immediately was shut down, and now they're back to despising each other, and I'm almost done. So I'm like, I wish I went into this with no expectations. I don't know why I thought that. Karen's pregnant and she doesn't want kids, and now her and Graham are fighting. Can no one have a moment of peace? Like, I love them together. Oh my god, moment I've been waiting for. They're on SNL right now. There was so much going on during that performance. I had to be aware of my timing and the words and where I was looking and where the camera was. And then, I don't know, suddenly Daisy was there next to me and I forgot about everything but just looking at her and singing this song that we wrote together. And then Daisy said, Billy and I looked at the audience, and then he took my hand and we bowed. That was the first time my body had so much as grazed his in a very long time. It was the sort of thing where even after he let go, my hand still hummed. Then Graham says, Daisy and Billy had something no one else had, and when they played it up, when they actually engaged with each other, it's what made us. That was one of those moments where you think their talent is absolutely worth all the bullshit. They're finally uniting. I'm gonna cry. I'm literally crying because they're singing together right now, just one-on-one. And Daisy says, Billy started playing and I caught his eye for just a moment before I started singing, and it just seemed so obvious, so painfully, embarrassingly obvious. Without Nicky there to distract me, without keeping myself so drugged up, I wasn't even mentally present. It just seemed so obvious that I loved him, that I was in love with him. And getting high and going to Thailand and marrying a prince wasn't going to make me stop. And him being married to somebody else, that wasn't going to stop it either. I think I finally resigned myself to it in that moment, just how sad it all was. And then I started singing. And Billy goes, I loved my wife. I was faithful to my wife from the very minute I straightened up, but I tried desperately to never feel anything else for any other woman. But everything that made Daisy burn made me burn. Everything I loved about the world, Daisy loved about the world. Everything I struggled with, Daisy struggled with. We were two halves. We were the same. In that way that you're only the same with a few other people. In that way that you don't even feel like you have to say your own thoughts because you know the other person is already thinking them. How could I be around Daisy Jones and not be mesmerized by her? Not fall in love with her? I couldn't. I just couldn't. But Camila meant more. That's just the very deepest truth. Maybe Camila wasn't the person I was the most in love with. At that time, I don't know. But she was always the person I loved most. She was always the person I would choose. It is Camila for me, always. Passion is fire, and fire is great. But we're made of water. Water is how we keep living. Water is what we need to survive. My family was by water. I picked water. I'll pick water every time. And I wanted Daisy to find her water because I couldn't be it. Shit, Teddy died of a heart attack. Billy was obsessed with that man. Like, he was literally like his dad. Guys, I'm literally almost done. I have this much left. Okay, this is so true. Karen is making points. She goes, sometimes I wonder if I was Graham, maybe I would have wanted a baby too. If I knew someone else would raise it, someone else would let go of their dreams, someone else would sacrifice and keep everything together while I went and did what I wanted and came back on the weekends. Maybe then I might want a baby too. See, like, that's so true. Like, Graham is so mad at her for terminating the pregnancy when she was the one that was gonna have to give up everything for the baby. And when she asked him, okay, would you quit the band for the baby? He said no. And now he's mad at her and they're literally gonna probably break up over this. We hurt each other very badly, and that is my biggest regret. That is my very biggest regret, because I loved her with all of my fucking soul. To this day, there is a piece of me that still loves her, and there's a piece of me that will never forgive her. Julia is the one writing this? What? The author and Daisy are talking to each other, so the author is Julia. What the fuck? Camila is talking to Daisy and says, Daisy, he loves you. You know that he loves you. I know that he loves you, but he's not going to leave me. This sucks. Not Billy drinking. Come on. Everything is going to shit and the book is ending. No. I just got to the last section. One last thing before I go. It's an email. And then it's all their songs with all the lyrics. I can't wait to read these. I'm gonna read all the songs now. Okay, I'm finished, and those were all my spoilers. That's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me read these, my thoughts and opinions. Please, if you read these books, comment down below everything, like anything you want to about these books. I would love to talk to you guys and respond to comments and just talk about these characters and the stories and how they made you feel. Thank you so much for watching this video. It put me through a roller coaster of emotions, but that's my favorite thing about reading anyway. I can't wait to do more reading vlogs in the future. I'm so excited about these books. Like, I just love them so much. Thank you so much for watching. This is the end of today's video. If you want to follow me on my other social medias, they're all linked down below as always. And I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye!